Yeah, I'm ready. आप सबको हमारा नमस्कार। मंच पर मेरे साथ AICC के इंचार्ज मणिपुर के श्री गिरीश चोड़ांकर जी हैं। मंच पर मेरे साथ श्री कायसन मेघचंद्र सिंह जी हैं, जो MLA भी हैं और हमारी पार्टी की मणिपुर इकाई के अध्यक्ष भी हैं। मंच पर मेरे साथ प्रोफेसर बिमोल अकोइजम हैं, जो कांग्रेस पार्टी के मणिपुर इनर के सांसद हैं। और यहाँ पर हम आपसे मणिपुर पर बेहद गंभीर विषय पर अपना वक्तव्य देने आए हैं। 16 महीने हो गए और मणिपुर जल रहा है। 16 महीने से इस देश का एक राज्य हिंसा की ग्रस्त में है। वहां पर हर तरह की अगजनी, लूट, हत्याएं हो रही हैं। 16 महीने से जलते हुए मणिपुर में अब एक नई तरह की हिंसा भड़क उठी है। पिछले 10 दिन में मणिपुर में करीब 11 से 12 नई हिंसा में भड़की, करीब 11 से 12 मौतें हुई हैं। मणिपुर में एमेच्योर गन्स की जगह अब RPG लहराई जा रही है। मणिपुर में गांव के ऊपर ड्रोन से हमला हो रहा है। गांव के गांव ध्वस्त हो रहे हैं। उन इलाकों में हमला हो रहा है जहां पर हिंसा नहीं थी। मणिपुर में एक पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री का घर पे रॉकेट से हमला हो रहा है। मणिपुर के राज्यपाल के घर पर पत्थरबाजी होती है। मणिपुर में सुरक्षा बलों पर हमला होता है, उनके शस्त्र छीनने की कोशिश हो रही है। तो ये क्या हो रहा है मणिपुर में? मणिपुर में इंटरनेट बैन कर दिया जाता है। मणिपुर के तमाम जिलों में कर्फ्यू लगा हुआ है। मणिपुर में छात्र और युवा सड़कों पर हैं, प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। मणिपुर की पूर्व गवर्नर, जो फुल टाइम गवर्नर थी, जो मणिपुर के हालातों को अच्छे से समझ रही थी, जो उनकी व्यथा को समझ रही थी, वो कह रही हैं हालात बहुत गंभीर हैं। उनको हटा दिया गया है। एक हाफ टाइम गवर्नर अपॉइंट कर दिया गया है। मणिपुर के सारे एग्जाम स्थगित हैं। तो इस देश का एक राज्य जहां पर जाकर बड़ी बातें करने में नरेंद्र मोदी बयानबाजी करते थे, वो 16 महीने से जल रहा है। और इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री के पास 1 मिनट का वक्त नहीं है कि वो मणिपुर चले जाएं। वो चुनाव में मणिपुर नहीं जाते, उसके बगल के राज्यों में होकर लौट आते हैं। वो अमेरिका, फ्रांस, ब्रिटेन, ग्रीस, रूस, यूक्रेन सब जगह घूमाते हैं, बस मणिपुर नहीं जाते हैं। क्या ये किसी भी मर्यादित सरकार के लिए लोकतंत्र में स्वीकार्य है कि इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री ने एक राज्य को अपने हाल पर जलने के लिए छोड़ दिया है? कोई आक्रोश नहीं है। हम सबको याद है कि उन आदमखोरों की भीड़ ने कैसे बेटियों के शरीर को नोचा था। 76 दिन तक वो वीडियो बाहर नहीं आया था। जब आया तो नरेंद्र मोदी 36 सेकंड के लिए बोले थे। हम भूले नहीं उन बातों को। एक मिनट का वक्त नहीं है। और मैं आपके जैसे प्रबुद्ध मीडिया के साथियों से यह पूछना चाहती हूं, भाजपा के प्रवक्ताओं से पूछना चाहती हूं, सांसदों से पूछना चाहती हूं, मंत्रियों से पूछना चाहती हूं, बीजेपी के ट्रोल इकोसिस्टम से पूछना चाहती हूं। किसी और देश में हिंसा भड़कती है तो आपकी रातों की नींद खत्म हो जाती है। आपके देश का एक राज्य मणिपुर, 60 से 65 हजार महिलाएं और बच्चे आज की तारीख में भी विस्थापित हैं। कौन जवाबदेह है? हु इज आंसरेबल? यह सवाल है अपने आप में। और अब एक नए तरह का गेम खेला जा रहा है। इससे पहले कि मैं मंच अपने सहयोगियों, साथियों और नेताओं को दूं, एक नए तरह का गेम चल रहा है मणिपुर में। मणिपुर के मुख्यमंत्री, जो अभी तक नई दिल्ली की कठपुतली बनकर सारे ऑर्डर का पालन कर रहे थे, जिनको बर्खास्त नहीं करा गया, जिनको हटाया नहीं गया और मणिपुर जलता रहा, वो अब नए तरह का गेम खेल रहे हैं। अभी तक आप कठपुतली बने थे, अब आप स्वांग रच रहे हैं कि मैं सेंटर से भिड़ रहा हूं, मैं मणिपुर के हक की बात कर रहा हूं, मैं लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पे कर रहा हूं। आपकी आंख के सामने, आपकी नाक के नीचे मणिपुर जलता रहा और आप केंद्र की कठपुतली बने रहे। असलियत यह है, आपके कुछ भी करने से यह असलियत छुपेगी नहीं, बदलेगी नहीं। आई विल वेरी वेरी ब्रीफली मेक अ स्टेटमेंट ऑन इंग्लिश, because this is a grave concern and this concerns us all. A state of India, our brothers and sisters there have seen violence of the worst kind in independent India, not for one, not for two, but for 16 months now. And it almost appears that the Prime Minister has forgotten that Manipur is a part of this country. Manipur has seen the kind of domestic violence, the kind of civil war conditions that no other state has seen. And it has just gone on. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, the violence has worsened, it has escalated. Local pistols are being replaced by RPGs. We've also seen how residence of an ex-chief minister is being attacked by a rocket. We are seeing how drone attack is happening on villages. We are seeing the residence of the governor being attacked. We are seeing security forces being attacked and people trying to snatch away their weaponry. That is the condition of Manipur. Internet is banned. There is curfew in several districts of Manipur. The reality also is that amidst all of this, exams have been cancelled. Students have been out in the streets protesting. And now there is a different kind of a game that is being played by the BJP in the center and their puppet in Manipur, Biren Singh. And it's a dangerous game. Mr. Biren Singh has so far all along allowed himself to be a puppet in the hands of the central government, to be Amit Shah's puppet, to be Narendra Modi's puppet. And now he's putting up this brave front as if he's taking on the central government. He has worked on their diktat in the last 16 months. The violence has escalated, the violence has worsened on his watch. So this drama now, this fake drama of taking on the center doesn't impress us. It has happened on your watch and the central government and you are responsible for what has happened. And before I hand it over to my colleagues, I will want to say, what has stopped the Prime Minister of this country to visit Manipur? वहां की पूर्व राज्यपाल ने कहा है, मणिपुर आज भी अपने प्रधानमंत्री का इंतजार कर रहा है. The Prime Minister has visited from France to Britain to Greece to America to Russia to Ukraine, various countries of this world. He goes to every state that he fancies. But somehow the Prime Minister doesn't find time to visit Manipur. And I am very, very proud of the fact that we stand in solidarity with Manipur. We stand with all communities of Manipur. We stand against violence. We stand against what's happening to our brothers and sisters and little children over there. But I am proud of the fact that my leader Rahul Gandhi has gone to Manipur multiple times and has made an appeal for peace, has asked for peace, has asked for bonhomie. Where is the Prime Minister? इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री कहां है? और मैं क्यों ना ये कहूं कि प्रधानमंत्री के ऊपर एक इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए, पीएमओ पर इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए. मैं क्यों ना कहूं कि गृह मंत्री को बर्खास्त करना चाहिए. वो पूरी तरह से विफल हैं. और अब मैं अपने मणिपुर के अध्यक्ष श्री कायसन मेघचंद्र सिंह जी से अपील करती हूं कि वो अपना ओपनिंग वक्तव्य दें.
Respected Supriya Synergy and also our in-charge Sri Girish Chodankar ji, also our respected MP Sri Professor Bimol Akoijam. And also I'm really happy that these AICCs are supporting to the issues of Manipur and for the people of Manipur, those who are suffer under this violence. And also my dear friends of media, today I'm very lucky to say something on Manipur, that the unprecedented turmoil continues since 3rd of May. And this violence still continue. And after this, 1st September, the magnitude of the violence has been totally changed. Since 1st September, the use of these high sophisticated armories like using the high-tech drones, these bombarding to the civilians and to at the different places like in Imphal West district, Imphal East district and Bishnupur district. And after these using high-tech bombing, and again these militants are using these RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades explosions with high-range sophisticated bombing. And in that bombing, these many civilians were killed and also lot of casualties still there in the hospital. After this, the magnitude has been changed from 1st September. Many of the students were also agitated against the government because of these inactions of the government, the failures to control the law and order situation there in Manipur. So till yesterday, hundreds of students were injured and also they are still in the hospital. It's very sad to hear, and this very condemnable, the attacks of the police to the students who are demanding the justice for the people of Manipur. And you see, after this 1st September, the people are quite unrest. So how you see, you please imagine that the bombarding with high-tech drones, how can the civilians live? And how can these civilians will think over that? In that situations, you see. So it's a very high sophisticated these weapons, It is like using there in the war, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and this Israel and Palestine. So these honorable prime ministers all the time, he is concerning about the resolving of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He all the time mentions, he visited over there, and again concerned about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I've seen different tweets in the X, and also many there in the breaking news in the different channels. So after this 3rd May, the people, you see, the more than 60,000 are still in the relief camp who are displaced from their respective places. And also hundreds of people were killed under this violence. So these prime ministers is concerned about the different countries, the conflict, and why not? Honorable Prime Minister is not concerning about this conflict in Manipur, which is his own state and his own people. So we are really upset about the inactions of these honorable prime ministers. Now you see the machineries, the law and order in the state is totally failed. The state subjects, which is the law and order, that also controlled by the central government directly or indirectly. You see, in the 31st May 2023, the central government has already removed the chairman of the unified command. Conventionally, chairman should be the chief ministers of a state. That is not only in Manipur, that is across the nations. The chairman of the Unified Command has been removed on 31st May and still continue by the security advisor Sri Kuldeep Singh. So this is, what about this thing? This is a concern of the state law and order. It is totally violations of the state subject, which is about the law and order. It is totally violations of the article provision of the Constitution, which is enshrined there in this the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So this is directly this neglecting the voice of the people, and also all the time the oppositions, our party is demanding why and how such this removing of this state subject and directly controlled by the state central government. We all the time questions in the assembly or in outside the assembly also. So now very recently, couple of days back, Honorable Chief Minister went to the governor's office along with the councils of ministers and ruling MLAs and demanding that to hand over the authority of the Unified Command. So Honorable Governor, whether it is accepted or not, that is their concern. But how it is possible, you see, government is demanding to the governor to hand over the authority of the Unified Command. So since the 31st May 2023, Honorable Chief Minister didn't say anything. And again, this demanding to hand over the authority of the Unified Command. This is why they are playing the drama to the people, the innocent people. And now the peoples are suffering and still continue the violence and completed 16th month. And on the other side, you see the situation over there. We have only 2 national highways, which is lifeline of the people of Manipur, that also blocking since May 2023. And we are suffering a lot to get the essential commodities over there. The essential commodity which are available now, that is also getting at the high prices. You see in the price index of India, Manipur is the highest. The inflation rate across the nations. Now, our state is the local inflation is 10.7, which is highest. In other states like the UP, Delhi or others, so that is below 5%. Now, whatever we get, the essential commodity, it is at a very high rate of these prices. No, the index is in there. So this is there. This national highway is blocking since May 2023. Still continue. There is no protections to bring all this essential commodity from the other states. That is what we are suffering. And also these students also getting a lot of problems over there. And these IDPs, internet displaced people also, they are still in the relief camp. How much we suffer? Is there any such type of this high-tech, these drone bombing, and also using these RPGs in other states except Manipur? It is the first time in India which is happening in Manipur since independence of India. So how can it be possible, and how can treating by the central government being the states of India? So it is very difficult to understand the policies of the central government and why Mr. Modi is still silent on Manipur issue. So we want to know these consent of our state from the central government. That is why a lot of things that which is very unpredictable over there and is very difficult to measure the policies of the central government. There is so far, it has been completed 16th month, but so far there is no concrete roadmap to resolve the issues in Manipur. So how these, being the citizens of India, we cannot understand the roadmaps, the ideas, to resolve the issues. It is destroying the ideas of Manipur day by day. It's increasing the killing of these innocent citizens day by day. So in these junctures, we need attention of all these national media and also our AICC leaders and also the different leaders of the nations, because being the state of India Union is our right to defend our life and property. So it is very uncertain there in Manipur for the civilians of the state. So we have a lot of other speakers also. I will not take much. Thank you for giving me time.
Thank you, Kaisan Meghachandra. I will now request my colleague, our MP from Manipur Inner, Professor Bimol Akoijam, to make a statement.
Thank you, Supriyaji, and Girish, who is in charge of our state, and our MPCC President, Meghachandra, and dear friends. You know, I have been saying this, as Supriyaji also said already, that in post-colonial India, independent India की history में ऐसे घटना हुआ ही नहीं in इस देश में. It has never happened. The manner of the constitutional mechanisms have collapsed. The 60,000 people rendered homeless, thousands of them, as we speak here, they are linguisting in relief camps. जो बंटवारे के टाइम में जो हुआ था, during the time of partition in 1947, it is exactly the same thing. You will feel so bad if you happen to visit that in your own country, we are reenacting the same tragedy. If you visit those relief camps, you will sense it. Our Prime Minister seems to be more concerned with crises and conflicts in other parts. And just as people used to say, Europeans used to look at Africans and Asians, jo Hutus and Tutsis were fighting among each other. It is their problem. And what we as Europeans can do kind of things, dur se dekhne ka jo ek tarika hai, I think sadly the Prime Minister of this country seems to be doing exactly the same. He thinks that conflict in Ukraine is more important than the crisis in his own country, in Manipur. Either he doesn't think that Manipur deserves that kind of interest, or he doesn't think that Manipur is part of this country. Otherwise, I am sure that he would not have allowed to linger this violence in the state of Manipur. It is sad at one level, and it is a sense of indignation and frustration among the people is really bad. Please mark my word, people started saying that please go back, all the Indian armed forces, we'll deal our situation ourselves, which is not a good sign for the country. The country must know when you collapse your institutions, when you allow your citizens to be subjected into this kind of humiliation and crisis, people are bound to respond in one way or the other. I just wanted to say this is not only the violence and human tragedy, there is also an institutional and constitutional collapse. That's very important. The state subject, law and order, is unconstitutionally has taken over by the central government. Mr. Kuldeep Singh was appointed on 4th May 2023. First, he was appointed as a security advisor. And then on 31st of the same month, he was again appointed as a chairman of the Unified Headquarters, which is commonly referred to as Unified Command. What is this? Unified Command or Headquarters. This is where you have the representative of the Army, the BSF, the CRPF, the paramilitary forces like Assam Rifles, Manipur Police, IB and intelligence unit. Everybody is there to coordinate. The mandate is to deal with the security and law and order situation in the state. And now that we have flagged off these issues long time back, who is in charge of the state of Manipur? And surprisingly, the state government has been silent. They've been following this kind of subversion of constitutional mechanism themselves. So there is a serious subversion of constitution, the federal structures. I just want to remind you, some of you, that there's Baba Saheb Ambedkar once said, there is a sovereign and plenary authority of the state cannot be eroded. Law and order is absolutely the domain of the state government. So this government, surprisingly, not only have presided over the violence, the state government, they have also played, along with the central government, in the subversion of the constitution itself. So defending Manipur right now is also defending Indian constitution, that the federal structure remains intact. And I think this is something that we must keep in our mind. And I think we have crossed all limits. The constitutional propriety, from the dimension of humanity, आप लोग सोचिएगा कि इस देश का प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है उसके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? I started thinking like that now. What is there? Is it some kind of a psychological breakdown that you don't feel the need to intervene? और बोलता रहता है कि CM is cooperating with us, obviously through the subversion. And as Supriyaji has already pointed out, one is playing a victim or a defender of the state. Makes no sense to me. So I normally avoid talking about state government now. I mean, it's beyond that. It's the government of India which is solely responsible for the subversion of the constitution and the tragedy. 60,000 central troops. How is it possible that people lost life? Manipur's population is like a district of Delhi. 33 lakhs was around that. And 22 square kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. Such a small state, you have a presence of 60,000 troops. What they have been doing? What is our defense minister, what are our home ministers doing? So it is not only prime ministers. The entire cabinet is responsible for this. And for the rest of the country, I am appealing as a representative of those people in our temple of democracy. Do not watch this tragedy like the Europeans or the Westerners have done when tragedy happens in Rwanda. The fight between Tutsis and Hutus, are you going to say that, oh, Kuki and Meiteis are fighting? That attitude is what the government of India is trying to preach by allowing this violence to go on for 16 months. And I think our leader Rahulji is very decent when he said the Prime Minister should visit. He has appealed as a national leader. I often wonder if none of the national leaders have not visited, what would have people felt? They would have felt abandoned. The government of India has already abandoned the people of Manipur, and thankfully our party leaders have not. And today also you can see that AICC is still organizing a press conference. That shows whether you are a small state or a big state, all Indians are Indian, all union states of these unions are equally deserving of the dignity that each of the constituent unit of this country must have. I think this is something that I want to place in front of you. Please communicate this message and make it sure that the Prime Minister at least comes back to his senses and try to intervene decisively, ask his security forces to act, rein in the violence, and denounce all kind of sectarian-based political demands. That kind of politics must also be rejected. Only then this peace will come back. These two needs to be done. I think the people have already spoken out, the people of Manipur, despite their tragedies. And I think the situation is, if you allow this to go on, the kind of sentiment, I hope still that it remains towards the BJP. It should not turn towards the country. And the BJP is making in such a sensitive state the sense of abandonment and neglect, and in fact also complicit in some way with the violence is not a good sign for this country. I think government of India must realize this sooner the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. I'd now request Girish ji to make his statement.
Thank you, Madam. over last 16 months since the Manipur crisis started, Rahul Gandhi ji visited thrice. 3 times he has made serious attempts to bring peace to the state and whatever way he can contribute. In his last visit, after visiting all the camps, he called on the governor and appealed with the governor, had a long discussion with the governor, and governor nicely cooperated with him, with his sincere efforts. She called the senior officers in that meeting, and we felt that she was serious in resolving the crisis. Rahul ji made very serious suggestions after meeting the cross-section of the society in Manipur. And there was a serious attempt to resolve the issues from the Manipur governor point of view. We really don't understand the intention of our Prime Minister, whether he's deliberately allowing this Manipur situation to go out of hand, whether he's having some serious intentions, any hidden agenda on that. These doubts are raised because the governor was immediately, we still do not know, nobody understands why the governor was immediately transferred and the part-time governor was brought in. Whether she made an attempt to resolve the crisis along with Rahul Gandhi ji, or whether she cooperated with Rahul Gandhi ji, we didn't really have a serious doubts. Our Prime Minister is ignoring Manipur since last 16 months. Time and again, people of India, people of Manipur and Congress party has been demanding with him only to visit Manipur and to make a strong statement and to make serious attempts to resolve the crisis. We are not hearing anything from the Prime Minister. On the contrary, he silenced one side, and now what has started in Manipur since the 1st September, what our PC President has explained detail, where the sophisticated weapons were used as if it was going like a war situation. The people of Manipur are in pain, they are in fear, and we all are concerned about it. Our Kharge ji expressed the serious concern. Our Venugopal ji also raised this issue. Rahul Gandhi ji has appealed the Prime Minister again and again. And now we have it raises the serious questions about the leadership abilities of our Prime Minister. Whether he has no ability to resolve the crises that are happening in our small state like Manipur. These are the serious doubts that are being raised in the minds of people. And we also feel same that the Prime Minister is not able to resolve the small state, where he was saying with pride about his 56 inches. We also raise serious doubts about his intention on the national security, because what is happening in the Manipur is a serious breach of national security, as well as the basic human empathy. If Prime Minister of our country is not able to take a stand on this issue, I think he's not a Prime Minister anymore, it looks like. So we demand with the Prime Minister to break his golden silence on the Manipur is concerned, and his decisive action is expected. Still we are hoping against the hope to restore the peace in Manipur, and his continued inaction will only further erode the trust of the people in his leadership. We are here just not for politics. This is the matter of humanity and the national security and of the future of the Manipur. We demand with the Prime Minister that he should fully crack down by the central government on these insurgent groups, as well as the immediate investigation into the use of high-tech weaponry. We expect Prime Minister to visit the Manipur soon and to act positively. Thank you.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। आपके सवालों का स्वागत है, और सवाल अगर आप मणिपुर पर पहले करें तो बहुत हम लोग कृतज्ञ रहेंगे। एक बड़ी त्रासदी ये देश झेल रहा है। इस देश का एक राज्य 16 महीनों से जल रहा है, और ये प्रधानमंत्री की क्षमता का ही नहीं, उनकी नीयत पर भी सवाल उठाता है। दिस इज नो लॉन्गर, like my esteemed colleague said, it no longer is about the Prime Minister's ability, it is also about his intent as far as handling of Manipur is concerned. Yes, sir.
सुप्रिया जी, जिस मणिपुर के हिंसा का आपने जिक्र किया, लगभग 226 से अधिक लोग जाने गंवा चुके हैं, 40,000 लोग बेघर हो चुके हैं। कहीं न कहीं जिस तरह के हथियारों का प्रयोग हुआ है, और जैसा कि आपने कहा प्रधानमंत्री की क्षमता पर यह प्रश्न चिन्ह तो खड़ा होता है। साथ ही साथ जो हथियार आए मैक्सिमम बाहर से आए हैं, तो क्या ये विदेश नीति का फेलियर, सुरक्षा का भी फेल का मामला है?
ये सिर्फ विदेश नीति का नहीं, ये हर स्तर पर सरकार के फेलियर का मामला है, और ये फेलियर और ये विफलता सबसे पहले केंद्र सरकार की है। इतनी हाई टेक्नोलॉजी वाले हथियार कहां से आ रहे हैं? ड्रोन कहां से हमला कर रहे हैं? रॉकेट कहां से लॉन्च हो रहे हैं? आज आरपीजी हर हाथ में है मणिपुर के, कहां से आ रही है ये सिर्फ सुरक्षा व्यवस्था का फेलियर नहीं है लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का स्टेट में, ये होम मिनिस्ट्री का, ये डिफेंस फोर्सेस का, और ये प्रधानमंत्री का फेलियर है। इसमें तनिक भी दो राय नहीं है, इसमें तनिक भी संदेह नहीं है। और फेलियर सबसे बड़ा यह है कि इस देश का चुना हुआ प्रधानमंत्री के अंदर ना ये मर्यादा है, ना नैतिकता है कि वो 16 महीने से जलते हुए एक राज्य में जाए। इससे बड़ा विफलता और क्या होगी? इन केस यू वांट, एनी ऑफ यू वांट टू ऐड, प्लीज जस्ट व्हेनेवर। यस जी। देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि एक चीफ मिनिस्टर वहां पर कठपुतली की तरह सरकार, केंद्र सरकार यहां से चला रही है। वो कहते हैं खड़े हो जाओ, वो खड़े हो जाते हैं, वो कहते हैं बैठ जाओ, वो बैठ जाते हैं, वो कहते हैं ये बोलो तो वो ये बोलते हैं। असलियत है कि कठपुतली की जो डोरे हैं वो नई दिल्ली में है। आपके अंदर अगर जरा सी भी नैतिकता और मर्यादा होती तो आपने बीरेन सिंह को पहले ही बर्खास्त कर देना था। आज की तारीख में वो ये स्वांग और ये ड्रामा रच रहे हैं कि अब मेरे पास सिक्योरिटी का कंट्रोल नहीं है, मुझे दे दीजिए वापस कंट्रोल। 16 महीने से आप क्यों सो रहे थे? मेरा अपना मानना है कि ये जो स्वांग सारा है ये इसलिए रचा जा रहा है क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री ने सुध लेने की नहीं सोची है। देखिए, आप मुद्दे से मत भटकिए। मुद्दा बीरेन सिंह, मुद्दा मणिपुर में जो